Hello, Steve White, Stewart's 89. Well, I think we all know a couple of days ago Madonna screened some version of the Madame X tour film for 12 people, including Guy Oseary, in a screening room somewhere. I'm kind of surprised she doesn't have a screening room in her home, or Guy doesn't, because they're both rich as F. So, interesting. She dressed up in a little colourful Gucci outfit and paraded around, took a lot of pictures, and made a show of herself, as she usually does, because she's Madonna. And then Guy showed up, and he's gone grey, which, although he looks younger, and I guess a year away from Madonna does that to you, but not managing her. But he apparently was in a quarantine for pretty much a year, is what she said, but she's probably just joking. But he got married, and COVID happened, so he probably pretty much did take the year off. But she said that he basically came out of quarantine after a year to escort her to the screening of Madame X. Now, I would have done a video about this a couple of days ago because I got a little bit excited. I was like, oh, wow, okay. But when I actually read into it a little bit more, you found out that it's still not finished. So this wasn't like a final screening of the finished product. This probably was a rough cut of if it wasn't the whole thing, it would have been just the new footage that was filmed that, of course, Guy hadn't seen because he wasn't there when they filmed it, as far as I can tell. Or maybe that footage actually inserted into the film or the documentary or wherever it's going to go. So, because they did say it's still not finished, but she can see the light at the end of the tunnel at least, but it's not finished. So I was excited, then I was disappointed because it's still not finished, which I didn't think it could be this quickly because they only were doing reshoots, like a month ago or something, a couple of weeks ago. So it takes a while to get this stuff done, film it, produce it, just edit it all, and just the timing, even with digital, it's still not as quickly as you'd think. So I sort of wasn't expecting anything, so I was kind of surprised. And then it's like, oh, it's not finished. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not surprised now. But it's interesting to see a guy with grey hair because he wasn't grey when I saw him, and it's funny how grey hair looks on people with olive complexions, and that it kind of works. It's just weird to see him with grey hair because. So she paraded him around and they took photos and, just the usual, but there wasn't much information. She screened it for, I think, did I say 12 people? It was a 500 seating theatre, and they only had 12 people there. So I'm guessing it was mainly brass, like her family wasn't there. Like she was saying goodbye to them. There was a little video of her saying goodbye to them and him picking her up, and so I'm guessing it's more. Some people are rumouring it was actually a screening for Netflix, for the executives to show them what they're preparing to give them, because supposedly they're going to be screening the film on Netflix. And I can't remember where that was because there were rumours and there were deleted posts and then there were more rumours and confirmations, but I wasn't really sure because sometimes what people do in the press is they'll talk up a situation they want to happen that actually isn't happening, that hasn't been greenlit, but they think they talk about it and it gets, tweeted enough and liked and all that, then the people will just comply. So I'm not exactly sure where this film is screening, what it is. No one knows yet. Is it a documentary with footage from the concert? Is it a straight concert footage? Is it both? Is it some sort of hybrid? What are we getting on DVD? There's a lot of talk with Rebel Heart that it was going to be a 2-disc set, that it was going to be a large sort of like jukebox sort of section with all the extra songs she'd performed in the Heart section and that, and it was going to be a 2-hour concert. They were going to do the whole thing and everything, and then they cut it down to a strictly 2-hour concert for Netflix, and then they just put that on DVD and they didn't edit it, and they actually edited out Love Don't Live Here Anymore and put in an odd little segment about Michigan and the art scene in there and their sort of recovering sort of elements of their infrastructure and stuff, and it was just seemed really out of place, and they cut a song out. And I didn't care so much when it was just screening on Netflix in America, but yeah, that's the version they put on the DVD, because instead of doing any editing except for some small title changes, they just put it straight on because it was already made. So obviously had no budget or anything to go into that. So I'm wondering what we're going to get. Are we going to get a screening on Netflix, which is a one-off or a short term and then we lose it, or will that just be put on DVD as well, like with Rebel Heart. So I really wanted to know more before I did a video. I've been sniffing around looking for information, and I haven't seen anything other than her just posting these comments and taking pictures in the theatre, and a lot of pictures in her little Gucci outfit, which does look good. I mean, her hair. I mean, some people are making fun of her because she's obviously made up within an inch of her life, and then she's filtered to within an inch of her life, and then you contrast that with pictures of her not even bothering, with no, not much makeup and, no filters or anything. And then people sort of acting like, oh, she's trying to look young again. She's trying to look like has she had work done, or she's just trying to look young because, I'm like, I wish people would give her a break. But at the same time, she makes it so easy because she does do all these behind the scenes, no filter, no makeup photos. And then she does the full on total glam filtered stuff. And then people compare them, and of course they look like night and day, and they just have a field day with it. And whether she wants that because she knows any press is good press and it's just keeping her relevant, and then she could play the victim of the ageism, and she does suffer from ageism because, she's a woman over 63 and people hate her, so they're just getting on that. But then, like I said, she makes it easy for them, and I wonder, is that to bait them so she gets the press? And, it does seem to be an ongoing, eternal game with the press and Madonna and the media and the Madonna. But yeah, I mainly just wanted to make a video about the fact that they screened it, and then I found out A, it's not complete, and B, that's all I found out. So I don't know much more. But I just need to relax. Eventually it'll be over. It'll be screened. God willing, I might actually pay for Netflix just to see it, because I cut Netflix off because of the whole cuties thing with our... And there's another thing I meant to mention. Why would Madonna want to sign up with Netflix when they have a documentary as well, supposedly? It's not really a documentary. It's an exploitation film of like 12 and 13-year-old girls, which photographs their genitals through their underwear, basically where they're dancing. It's just made for pedophiles, and yet she's putting her film on Netflix. I cut Netflix off after I saw that, after they promoted that, and didn't recognize it for what it was, and I haven't had Netflix since. I used to have Netflix like all the time. It was my sort of permanent sort of what I always had on, and then I'd sort of get other streaming services just for random sort of shows or movies, but I haven't had Netflix for a while because of that, and I don't want to sign up for them just for this. I'd rather just buy it on DVD. I don't want to give Netflix my money because I don't want to support pedophilia, which is basically what they're promoting with that movie, because that's who's watching that film, pedos. They just turn the sound off and have the jollies while they're watching it, because that's how it's shot. And the argument with these people was, we wanted to show how wrong it was to exploit children by exploiting them and showing you how we exploit them. This video is not about that. I don't know how I got onto that, but I think I don't want to have Netflix see this. I want it to come out on DVD, I think was the point I was trying to make. I want it on Blu-ray, I want it on DVD, just like the others, and I want, God willing, somehow in the universe, I want a release of Blonde Ambition and the Virgin Tour, which are my favourite tours next to Confessions. I think Confessions did get added to the sort of greatest. I mean, Girly Show sort of is a favourite because it was the one Australian tour, and I watched the hell out of the video wishing I'd been there because I didn't get to see it. I was too young. Blonde Ambition, probably the best. It's like the first main sort of iconic sort of great performance she did, but then Like a Virgin is just so simple and pure pop, just confection. I love it. So I want those released. I want this released. I don't want to have to rely on Netflix because I don't want to have to pay them any money and contribute to them promoting pedophilia. And I don't want to have to do that long term every time I want to see the concert, every time Madonna has a birthday, or I want to watch the films, and I want to watch all the concert films, all the concerts. I don't want to have to join up Netflix so I can watch Madame X as well. So I'm a bit bothered about that. So so this is my video. I'm just having a bit of a rant. I'm disappointed that the film's not finished yet. We don't have any information, and we don't know if it's going to be released, and I'm worried that it is going to be limited to Netflix, and I'm going to have to pay them money because I don't like supporting them, because they have this film they're promoting which objectifies these girls and is made for pedophiles to enjoy, which is really sick. On a mainstream platform, it's really disturbing. If you look into that whole thing, because it was pushed as like a feminist piece, that this woman was, it was a female black director, so they were pushing it because of that, and totally ignoring what the content was. And her argument was, well, I'm doing this to show how wrong this is by actually creating a film doing it. It's really disturbing. I did a couple of videos on it if anyone cares, but it's sort of simmered down and died down and no one's talking about it anymore. But it's, as far as I know, it's still on Netflix. And while it's on Netflix, I really don't want to pay for them. And there are other ways to see these shows, but I don't like doing that either. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck unless it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. So that's what I'm hoping for. So let's try and make that happen as fans. Let's, you know, talk about this and tweet about this and carry on like we do. But I'm done carrying on. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. Maybe even ding the little bell, it helps. Bye. Okay, some good news I should mention. There was a article on a website called Netline that said that Netflix was no longer streaming cuties, so I no longer have that moral conflict of interest. So if Madam X does come to Netflix and is exclusive, I don't have to miss out on it. With you know, I don't have to subscribe to Netflix and have that moral issue there. So, I mean, I'm still a bit disgusted with Netflix because they refused to take it off when people were complaining and protesting and unsubscribing, because it was getting a lot of attention and they're getting a lot of views. So, you know, they just cared about that. So I still not really comfortable with Netflix, but there's not a direct conflict there. So if it does become exclusive, I don't have to miss out on it. So hopefully still we get the DVD and Blu-ray option, but either way I will be seeing it. So I'll be doing a review. But I'm going to go. Thanks, bye.